Oh, hello, Rob White here, and welcome to yet another episode of Who the F is Rob White with our guest, Mike Cruz, who is an actor in the television series Daredevil. We talked about acting and perfecting our craft and tattooing in the acting field, as well as we tattooed this cross right here, guys. And stay tuned and watch the episode. How long have you been in acting now?
Let's see. Chris, when did we start this acting thing? 2 years ago. About 2 years, yeah, man, when I started the podcast, yeah.
That's really good. Oh, yeah, because you had a podcast. It was the Unadulterated podcast.
Yeah.
And how long was that going on for?
Well, we kind of started that as a trial basis. We built the studio, and our idea was to rent out the studio for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we had to cut some sort of promo to promote the studio. So Chris was like, hey, Mike, why don't you fucking give it a shot? Get someone in the chair, see how it goes. And we did it. And I was like, how's it look? And everybody's like, it's pretty fucking good, man.
That
Why don't we
was
keep going with it?
That was the original one that or was it the one that I watched with Joe Winchell?
No, I had a guy on there with Mike Cruz, an actor. So I brought someone who could really fucking talk for an hour without stop. And he was a perfect guy to put in a chair for the first time.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And did you like doing the whole podcast thing?
Yeah, man. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking to people. I like the stories. I like hearing people's motivational shit, man. It inspires me.
Now, there's always something different going on, which is kind of fun, which is sort of why I always like this idea, because of the fact that, like, you're in the chair and you're getting tattoos, as you've gotten plenty of tattoos, and you just know that when you're in it, like, you start saying things that are just outside of, I don't know, it's like you talk a certain way to your barber and a certain way to your bartender, but the tattoo artist will hear things that nobody else hears, Yeah,
it's like a barber, like you said, or a bartender.
Yeah, it's but just a little bit of pain. Suddenly, people start saying things that you're just like, wait, what the fuck did you just say? Like, I laugh and I say it all the time, but I have murder confessions under my belt just from tattooing people, and they'll just say something, and you're like, how long did you serve for that one? And they're like, hey, what are you talking about? Like, oh no.
They used to have a collar, man. A fucking confession here.
You really could if you wanted to, but I feel like we're that same way as like a priest, Yeah. Where I was taught at a young age in tattooing. I started as a kid tattooing, but my dad was just like, you just keep your mouth shut, You don't tell on anybody unless it's something, unless it's you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get some characters in the tattoo business,
I can imagine, man.
It's
I can
true.
imagine. I remember back in the day, tattooing hands was like taboo, right?
Right.
Hands, neck, and faces, right?
Well, nobody did that, and that enters into a weird thing, because the question that I had in this, or one of the things that just kind of like rolls around my head is like, you're being an actor. That was always the one thing that people would constantly tell me, like, oh, I'm an actor, I can't get tattoos.
Yeah.
But then suddenly it became, they wanted actors with tattoos, and now it seems like they could totally just digitally make your tattoos gone, or even add more to you. So
yeah, they do it, man. They do it. They cover them, they do them, they redo them. But you know the story behind it? With the tattoos, what happened?
No.
With the Hangover, I think it was a Hangover 2.
Oh yeah.
When he got sued.
Right. That's actually an interesting story, because that guy absolutely knew what he was doing when he figured it out. Because he drew that, but then he copyrighted that design, which nobody does. Why would I copyright this? What am I planning on doing?
Because he did it for Tyson, and they used it on the other guy. Remember, they drew it on the other guy for the second one.
And the legalities on tattoos in Hollywood and inside of motion picture and stuff are so interesting. Like, you could apparently use most of these designs, but you can't, for whatever, but you can't profit off of them. So there was a lawsuit years and years ago where this guy had all these Disney characters tattooed, and Disney was suing him for it, but it wound up being okay because the guy wasn't making money off of it. He was just the guy with it. But if he went out and exhibited himself as the Disney tattooed guy, they would absolutely take money. Yeah. So it's interesting. Like,
that's a big thing. You have to send them pictures before you go to set. They want to see them.
Right. Do you ever have you have to like sign waivers and stuff for
Yeah, you
it?
gotta have a release. I have a release, yeah. I had a release that an artist that did most of my work gave me. And they use it. Sometimes they use it, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't give a shit about the release. They're gonna cover it.
Right.
Like, just sit there and spray it for about an hour, and then you're back on set.
But I guess it's interesting because, you know, if it was, I always wonder, like, I don't know, if you had something like a Yankee emblem tattooed on you.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden you're in a movie and you have the Yankee emblem. Is it like, does the New York Yankees get a cut of that?
I don't know, man.
Because they're making money off of it, but they're not. I mean, like, that's your character.
So majority of times they'll look at them. If it's a trademark, it's getting covered.
Right.
If it's even considered close to a trademark.
Right.
they're not
Okay. So
taking a chance.
they're
covering
yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're
Yeah,
covering
because
it.
well, if you were in a movie and you wore a Yankees fitted hat,
Yeah.
they would have to give money, I guess, to the
Cover it.
Yankees.
You're not wearing a hat. You're not wearing a hat.
Right.
Anything with a
Same-
logo you can't wear.
So unless that's part of their character, and then they have to get permission from
Yes, correct.
Major League Baseball or what have you. So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have they actually covered your tattoos
Yeah.
for movies?
Yeah, a lot of times is if they're gonna cover them, it's usually a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, yeah,
and then,
yeah.
they'll cover the hand and they'll cover the neck.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. And you figure a couple of times I got hired for the tattoos, and then I get there, I was like, all right, you gotta get covered. I'm like, wait a minute, I got hired with them. Like,
Yeah.
we changed our mind,
right.
and I get covered.
Which has got to make you feel good, though. You know, because at a certain point you're like, all right, are you hiring me just because I'm tattooed and I look like, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and then you get there and they're like, no, we actually want you to be like, oh,
A regular guy. Yeah,
I'm just a
that's
guy.
cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Not the tatted guy.
I'm an actor now, not just, you know,
Oh, am I playing a lawyer?
not just eye candy, guys. I can do other things.
Oh, you mean I'm not playing the father, the priest in this one?
Yeah, but now roles too. Like, as I was talking earlier, my dad tattoos, and you know he's covered in black and gray.
Yeah.
And like when he first started doing like some, you know, B-roll stuff and back behind the scenes kind of, you know, stuff, it was always dead body on Law and Order,
Yeah,
drugged out, overdosed guy. You know, it was always the same pimps and just
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Now, do you find that roles have changed in that?
I tell people all the time, you know what gets you? Your look gets you booked the first time, man.
Right.
So when you first start out, you're gonna do background stuff, and it's always your look.
Yeah.
So if you're not a cookie cutter guy, you're gonna get certain bookings. Where
Sure, yeah,
I was
yeah,
getting
yeah.
booked as an inmate, SWAT guy, biker, shit like that.
Stuff that fits
that-
into
that's
like having the
what gets you
beard
in
and the
door.
bald head, and you know, yeah. But
That
now
gets you in
since
door.
then, like you've been doing all different kinds of stuff too.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you know, once they hear you can talk, you have some sort of acting abilities that changes the whole game a little bit.
Yeah, like acting is. I give you a lot of credit. It's one of the hardest things out there. I do stand-up comedy, and you know, stand-up is one of those things where it's if you forget your lines, you don't because you can just go off the room. But
yeah.
if you're a certain character, you forget your lines, you know? So I've done a little bit of like not behind the scenes, what do you call it? Like little crappy little acting parts in some
Yeah.
comedy movie or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
always like, wow, this is so much rougher to remember all this. I can't just fall back on whatever I was going to do.
That's why you got to give guys who do theater so much, because there's no fucking cut.
Yeah.
It's fucking roll, man. It's roll and keep going. Even like I say, comedians, when I talked to Joe Winchell one time, I says, what if you're bombing on fucking stage, man? Who's giving you the hook?
Right.
Joe's like, Mike, you're up there. You're fucking stuck, man. You better turn it around quick.
Bombing sucks so bad.
I can imagine, man.
Bombing sucks so bad, and because you know what it is, it's you. If you go up there and you do some character, and they're like, oh, they don't like the old fisherman character that I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, fuck him, I don't care. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
trying to do it. You know,
Yeah.
but when you go up there, you tell your joke, and they're like, oh, that sucks. Yeah. Like, cool. I wrote that all last week. I was trying so hard. You know.
Yeah. That's tough, man. I tell people that's a tough profession, because when that room's silent, you know you're not doing it right.
No, I know.
See, with our shit, you fuck up, man. All right, cut.
Yeah.
You start seeing the director getting a little pissed off. You need some time? Go get some water? You want to take a break? Want to take 5 minutes? Then you know, you're like, damn, man, I need to pull it together. I need to pull this shit together right now.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, hold on, boss. I got it.
Yeah, I had a stupid part the other day. I had to play a brothel customer.
No way,
and
man.
it just kept getting worse and worse because originally it was just me like being like rude to the lady and telling her to hurry up, and then before long they're like, no, you should take off your shirt. No, you should put hot oil on your skin. You should be complaining because you're getting a hot oil, and I'm like, what's next? Where are my pants gonna come off? Like, what's the story in here?
Yeah, there's so many people throwing shit at you, right? Yeah.
What's the worst and then the best role that you had so far?
The best role I'm gonna have to say is Daredevil. I played the longshoreman on Daredevil.
Right. Oh, you're actually playing a fishing character.
Yeah.
Well, longshoreman is.
He's actually in the comic books.
Is it? Oh no shit.
He's in the comic, man. He's in the comic book. Yep.
So that's actually. So it's not an actual longshoreman. That's the actual.
He's a character in the comic book.
Right.
I didn't realize that till someone on set told me, goes, hey, he's in the comic book. I'm like, really? And then they fucking went on Google. I was like, holy shit, he is, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And the worst, man. I don't think anything was worse, man, to be honest with you. I don't think any of them are bad, man. It's always fun to play.
All right, that's it. That's a killer attitude, because you know what? Most people would be like, oh, I hated this one, I hated that one. You're like, no. But that's how you can tell that you love it, and that's why that makes sense, because people will ask me about, like, hell gigs with comedy, and I'm like, you know what? Even the ones that are the worst are still, they're going to make you so much better in the long run, you know?
Yeah. I tell people, listen, you know what? I enjoyed so much because I'm not fucking supposed to be there.
Right,
This was just a fucking fluke thing that kind of, let me give it a shot if I could do it. And then it turned into something. So I'm just grateful to be there, man, you know?
Where did that come from? Where did that originally start for you?
Well, when I was younger, I went to pro wrestling school. So you went to pro wrestling school, you kind of have an acting coach kind of guide you how to cut a promo. You know, you got to kind of find your character.
Right. Yeah, because it is a lot of acting.
Yeah,
That's,
so to me, I was always a kid who was pretty, you know, I was always in the mirror cutting promos. So to do it was pretty easy. Man, you know?
I can just picture you just standing there like screaming at yourself in the mirror. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do, brother? You know, Hogan, Savage, all those guys, man.
No, but it's all that does not get a lot of credit or enough credit, because that is, you know, people are always like, oh, wrestling's fake. I'm like, yes, I get what you're saying, but it's like physically you're basically doing the job as an actor and a stuntman. And that stuntman is more athlete in that occasion than most would understand. Like, you know.
And the dancing, listen, you're feeding off the crowd, man. You know, it's like fucking doing comedy.
Yeah,
you're gonna know if you're bombing. That crowd's gonna let you know if you're bombing, man. They're gonna let you know.
Yeah, and you know, I never thought of it that way,
They're
because
gonna let you
when you're up there, if you don't like you,
Silence.
you're not selling it.
Or the "you suck" chant start. That's when you know you really fucked up.
That old school ECW, man.
Oh, that's the best.
I
man.
love that. When I was young,
That's the best.
we used to go to ECW. They used to have shows in Queens at the, I think it was like the Elks Lodge.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And it was always just so crazy. Old school ECW was like no wrestling that I've ever seen in my life.
And the
You know,
crowd, right?
it was like, I used to go to a lot of like punk rock and hardcore shows as a kid, and I was like, that's what I feel like I'm at right now.
ECW.
ECW, it was like, these guys, this isn't wrestling like, you know, WWF, WWE, like, it was just too mild for me, you know?
Yeah,
I loved that craziness.
They were
like,
definitely a different breed, man.
the Sandman coming out with literally, not even girls, they weren't even women, they were like gay strippers, and he's drinking a Budweiser tall boy and beating people up with his bamboo cane, like, that's crazy. Like, that's going insane.
Yeah, that's an art, man. I tell people, anything you do like that is an art form. He's playing that character, Sandman. Listen, was a majority of that probably him, because that's why we made it look so easy.
Yeah.
But as far as producing that and coming up with all that stuff, man, you know, these guys don't get enough credit for that.
No, it's absolutely true. It's craziness.
You know, to have to write it, like these guys who write it, some of these guys are not even wrestlers who are writing some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's got to be weird too, because, you know, throw a guy through a table. Oh, sweet. Yeah, you do it. You go do it.
Yeah. You take that bump. Somebody like it.
Nobody needs that in their lives.
No.
They do this. This is what they do. Yeah, wrestling. I was a big fan as a kid, and then the girls came along. Girls and alcohol, that'll ruin everything, you know? Where you're like, oh, you know what, let's just go get drunk and chase Chase skirts. What? Who talks like that?
That's when it starts.
It's only been 2 years. That's really good.
Yeah, man, 2 years. I was able to get into the union. I'm in the union. I have an agent now, ATV agency. Yeah.
Screen Actors Guild,
Yeah, Screen Actors
SAG,
Guild,
and
yeah.
what's the other one? AFTRA? Are they the
It's
same
the same.
thing?
They combined
Oh,
now.
okay,
It's,
yeah.
it's SAG after it's called now. Yeah, they combined.
So I remember one of our buddies in comedy, Terry McNeely, was always doing behind the scenes. Not behind the scenes. I keep saying that phrase.
Yeah.
What do you call like guys that just stand there? What is that called? What is it called when you're just like, I want you to just stand there and look like a cop?
Oh,
like
background?
you're not. Yeah,
Background guy?
background. That's
Background guy,
background
yeah.
acting. Yes. Oh my
background,
God, I keep
yeah.
saying behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Like
background,
we're
yeah.
inside the music studio.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Nah. And Terry's funny because Terry was literally like every single law enforcement branch under the sun. So every week I would see a picture of him up there like dressed as he's a SWAT geek. Yeah, he's a trooper this week. He's a corrections officer. We call him stolen valor. That's what I would say.
So some of these guys that do the background stuff like that, they have the police uniforms.
Right.
They have the NYPD police form. They have the full summer, and you see the casting call. Hey, looking for 50 to 60-year-old with full NYPD uniform.
So these are actual real cops, like old retired.
No, they're not real.
Oh, you just gotta bring
You can actually go buy it. You can actually go buy a cop uniform.
No, I know, but that just seems like. Now, in doing that, what do you do as far as, like, you're out on the street afterwards, you're filming in Brooklyn or some damn thing? You have to wear a jacket.
Over
Yeah.
it. You gotta wear a jacket.
Because
over
I mean, I feel like that's definitely a good way to get, like, ton of trouble.
Yeah, and they have their own film crew. Like New York City has their own film police, where it says film crew on the back of it. It says NYPD film crew, and
So-
they work the sets.
What do they just make sure everyone's in line? Like, make sure
I
no
guess they
one's...
make sure like no, like people go on a set, not supposed to be on a set and shit like that.
Ah, that's a good thing, at least.
That's a really good job for them. Yeah, I talked to one of the guys' house. He goes, "Mike, this is the best job in the police force." Because we eat with you guys, we fucking. Who goes, "What are we doing here? We're not. There is no trouble here.
Yeah.
Hanging out." He goes, "You meeting celebrities and all that shit."
They're probably more often than not in the movies because you just don't even realize. You're like, that guy fits the bill,
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind of cool. And you guys just wrapped up on Daredevil, right? Or is it still
No,
in
they
the
do it.
process?
Season 3 is going on right now.
Wait, season 2 didn't get released.
Season 2 is released, yeah.
Did it really?
Yeah, it's out now.
Shoot, bad homework. Bad homework.
Season 2 is out now. They're filming season 3 as we speak.
I was looking through it and I was like, oh, I didn't even I thought season 2 was not out yet, and that's the one that you guys are.
Season 2 is out. Season 2
Terrible
is out.
filming
No,
on my
man.
part, or homework on my part.
Season 2 is out, man. Those fucking guys are killing it, man. The reviews are great.
Yeah, I got to check it out because I am, honestly, comic books were never. I was never a big comic fan,
Yeah.
but certain movies have come out of comics and they're so good.
Yeah.
I watched the whole Jessica Jones thing, and then I was
did
like,
you? Yeah.
"This is a comic?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. I guess I'm hooked now. All right."
Yeah, I didn't know who she was until I still started watching Daredevil. I didn't know who she was.
Yeah, no, she's involved in. Yeah,
She's
and I'm
one
like,
of the Defenders,
I
yeah.
didn't know what that was, And then some of my favorite movies that have come out, I'll find out later. Like, no, that was a graphic novel. I was like, what?
Really?
Like The Road to Perdition? You remember
Yeah,
The Road to
yeah,
Perdition? That's
yeah.
such a good movie.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm learning something new. So do you want to go into more like theater type stuff, or what's your?
Yeah, you know what? That's actually on my to-do list, man, is theater. I think that definitely will step it up a notch.
That's so crazy.
I want to give it a shot, man, yeah.
I mean,
I
the
want to give it a shot.
memorizational skills that it takes to do it. Like, what's your magic trick? Do you have one, or is it just rehearsing?
Yeah, I tell people it's like your favorite song. Like I was telling my friend coming here, Jason, I says, listen, you know Jingle Bells, right? You know fucking Frosty the Snowman, right? How do you know so much? Because it's a fucking jingle.
Yeah,
Your
yeah,
favorite
yeah,
song,
yeah,
you memorize
yeah.
it.
So
you just
you-
keep playing it.
Do you put it to a song?
Yeah, I play it in my earbuds. I'll tape it on my phone. I'll fall asleep to it. I'll go on a treadmill to it.
So wait, you basically put like a song
No, I don't
pattern
put a song to it.
Okay,
But I
'cause-
I'll play it over and over and over and over again. Like I'll fall asleep to it. I put it in my headphones and I'll fall asleep to it. Or in the morning when I get up to go to the treadmill, I'll have it on the treadmill. I try to just listen to it as much as I can right before the film.
Because I always found like the acting part of it, like that. I mean, because of doing stand-up comedy, I didn't feel that was hard. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you just convey a certain emotion. We can do that. Okay. But the whole notion of remembering.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that guy's lines, well, then you might as well just do your own. And at that point, you're not being an actor anymore. You're.
I think the hardest part is to remember when to deliver your lines. When after, say you're done with your dialogue, and then it's my turn, and not to remember, shit, man, he just finished. Now it's my turn for my dialogue. That's where it gets a little confusing, a little bit.
Because sometimes you're paying attention.
Yeah.
You know, I found that was one of the things when I took these little, like acting. It was like scene study.
Yeah. Yep.
He was more concerned with, I don't want you to think about your line.
Yeah.
I want you to think about what his line means. And
Yep.
like, all right, I could try that.
Yeah, like I read about Will Smith. Will Smith remembers everyone's lines, not just his, but everyone else's.
That makes absolute sense.
100%.
It sounds weird, but I've been a Freemason for 14 years going on now, and we have these elaborate rituals, which sound crazy. Like, what do you mean rituals?
Yeah.
It's like going to church. If you've never been to church before, and you go and you're like, what are they doing? And everything's conducted in Old English, and everything is memorized. Nothing's written down. So you have to memorize, like some guys go up and do like a 35-minute, and you're like, how did you do that?
I know.
There's only a few that are really that good, but still, like, you know,
It's crazy.
a monologue, like, what are we doing? And it's in Old English too.
Holy shit.
But a lot of those guys too are actually Broadway actors. A lot of the Freemasons
Really?
in New York City, the Freemasons have their own actors studio, not actors studio. What do you call it? A lodge. Is a lodge on Broadway that
Really?
all the actors that are Freemasons
Wow, I
go
didn't know
to.
that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Holy shit.
It's, that hasn't helped me though. They're not helping me none, you know. People like, think the Masons are
fucking
going to
great.
help you? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
We try our best, you know. So what's the next role you got? Anything?
I just finished a movie with Cameron Diaz. I can't say the name of that.
Oh, sweet.
I just
Okay.
did that, and I just finished a movie with Scarlett Johansson. And pretty much anyone knows what she's filming right now will know what movie it is.
Oh, that was a
Hence
funny.
the cross that's going on my hand. So hopefully I don't become possessed.
Oh yeah, that'll keep you even. That was funny 'cause you were telling that story earlier about the prison mishap. That's so funny that they gave you the same color jumpsuits as the actual inmates in the actual prison.
Man. That guy was so fucking pissed, man.
You would imagine so.
And everyone's like, holy shit, dude, like, what the fuck? I was like, back on the bus. I'm like, and I'm looking around, like, who did we talking to? He's like, you guys on the bus. I'm like, all right, pal, you got it, man.
Yeah, 'cause you know what? That's the thing. Like, you don't want to get shot. You know, like, what's this guy doing? He's just leaving the set to get a cup of coffee, and they're like, oh, he's escaping.
Yo, they were fucking pissed, man. They were fucking pissed. And all I kept saying in my head is like, who's gonna pay for this mistake? That's a huge mistake.
Well, that's just crazy too. That
big
like,
mistake.
so I didn't even realize. I guess that's the way it goes. But like, they're filming a or a jail scene in the jail. That's a live, real, actual
real jail.
So, what do they just? You guys go to that wing, and we'll be over here on this tier, like.
So basically, they had a section booked off for the film, and I guess when we got off the bus, man, they just realized, holy shit, these guys are wearing the same color as the active inmates, but they make you put your jacket on.
Right.
So we're just standing there, and they just come up to us, hey man, you guys get back on the bus. We're like, holy shit, what happened? And they finally told us, we're like, all right, we get it. We get it. But they were fucking, they were on point. Those fucking sheriffs, when they were like, they looked at everyone coming in and out, and even when we got the uniform change with the different color, they still were like, listen, what's a better time for an inmate to escape when they're fucking filming a movie? When someone's playing an inmate.
I always said, like, when I would watch movies and stuff, and you'd see, like, some crazy police scene getting filmed or whatever, and you're like, what a perfect time for a terrorist attack, Like, hey, is anybody gonna even like? No, it's the Joker, yay! I'm like, no, it's not the Joker. It's some random dude with an AK, and now all of a sudden, man, terrible day for everyone involved.
And listen, you saw when they filmed the Joker, they had fucking 500 background people on that shit.
Right.
On the fucking steps.
Who's doing what?
How do you keep control of that?
Yeah,
Who's who,
exactly.
Man? I know people that worked on that set. I said, how was it? He goes, dude, it was fucking crazy. Because you had to wait to eat. Listen, the food line's fucking tremendous on sets like that. And then the background guys eat last. If you're not in the union, if you're not in the union, you're waiting all at the end, man. So what do you eat at the end, man?
I always heard stories of that from my dad. He'd be like, go to the wrong craft service area and steal a piece of chocolate cake and like.
What's your number? What's your number?
He had some weird story about what was the guy from Law and Order, the old guy? Jerry Orbach.
Oh yeah.
Jerry Orbach like yelling at him for taking a cake,
damn.
and then later on coming over and bringing him the whole cake, like here, take it. Oh, like it's so fucking, so silly.
It's crazy. Some of these guys, they go there, man. They fucking just load up. They fucking come with
Well-
bags. They come with bags and they take them home with them.
Well, you think everybody always thinks like, oh, you're an actor, you must be getting $1 million. They same thing with us. Oh, you're a stand-up comic, you must have it made. I'm like, dude, I just did Farrell's Tavern for like $50 and a free cheese sandwich. That's yeah. You go to if you got enough.
You do it for the love, man.
Yeah,
It's for the love of the craft. And listen, it's like anything else. When you first start out, you do it for the love, and you hope you're gonna make it, and you hope that the money comes with it. But a lot of times, a lot of these guys give up because they have bills.
Right.
They got fucking families. They have bills, man.
That's what happens now. Like if I didn't have this business, doing comedy, what do you do,
man? Yeah.
What
are you gonna do, man?
This is my retirement. This is my everything.
That's a fucking beautiful shot, man. This is.
And my wife over there, who doesn't like to be on camera, she makes it the whole thing run.
Oh, I seen her episode.
Yeah. Oh, you watched that one?
I did my homework.
She's great.
I did my homework before I got here.
See, I'm terrible. I think I did my homework, and then I realized like halfway through, I'm like, you didn't even watch the season already came out. You suck. You suck.
Oh man.
We are in there. We are in. We have it done. Well, should do the closing or let him take a look first? What do you think?
Do the closing first.
Do the closing. All right. That was what time was that? That went really quick, right?
About 20 minutes.
That's perfect, actually, because we usually have these and they're too long, and then you got a whole slew of problems involved. That was a great little episode.
Yeah.
Well, so ends another episode of Who the F is Rob White with my guest, Mr. Mike Cruz. Mike,
Thank you.
And you have any social medias or things that you want people to follow?
Yeah, I have Mike Cruz Unadulterated. It's my podcast.
Yep.
That, we're gonna start filming again probably in a couple of weeks. Chris, get ready. Rob, get ready.
Sweet.
We're gonna put you in a chair.
Hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
We'll flip it around this time, man. And,
Excellent.
And if you haven't seen Daredevil season 2, definitely watch it, man.
Well, I'm going to have to
else.
watch it now because I'm the crappiest fucking host ever. Right?
Longshoreman.
Hell yeah.
Longshoreman.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
I appreciate
Thank you
you,
so
man.
much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you.